2024 has arrived and the channel will be heading into a new direction. Well, sort of. So what do I mean by that? Well, basically, for 3 months, I'll be allowing myself to not set any bounds on whatever I create, and I'll be experimenting for 3 months on this channel, content-wise, seeing how things work on the front end and the back end. So why is there a need to go for 3 months experimentation on the channel when you've already created a video like, well, that was 2023. Now in 2024, things had to change a bit because I know what I want to create, but I don't know what I want to create. If you get my flow, sort of, I know the direction it has to go in, but I can't exactly put the direct words to it that I need for it to, for the type of thing that I want to create. So that's where I'm at. The topics I'll be hopping in between will be technology, philosophy, some general things that interest me. However, should you like a particular video and the way it is presented, or the information that's presented in it, and you'd like to see more of it, then be sure to comment and say, hey Sebs, I really love this video, I love the content that was in it, I'd like to see more of it, so that I know that it's something you want me to create. So that during the 3 months, I can consider that and say, okay, so this one was love, this one was not love, this type of content, so that I know which direction the channel will be in. But then, while on that note, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any other videos that get released from this point on. So, someone attentive, you might be saying, whoa, 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 Sebs, hold up, hold up. Something missing here. What happened to the podcast? The podcast, yeah, that one. Well, it got promoted. It got promoted. It was doing too well. So, got promoted and got its own channel. Sebworks Podcast has their own channel. So, from the 6th episode, they will all be aired on the Sebworks Podcast channel. To get to the Sebworks Podcast channel, basically just go on my channel, go scroll down to my featured channels, and then it will be there. Click Sebworks Podcast, and it will be there. Or you can just basically check the link in the description. That's probably the easiest, best way to do it. But yeah, basically the Sebworks Podcast has gotten upgraded. The 6th episode onwards will be on that channel. First episode 2024 coming very soon. Maybe even sooner than you might expect, but just know it's coming very soon. And I'll do an intro on that, so then you'll see what the podcast is about, more on the podcast than that. The first 5 episodes, though, will still be on this channel. You can find them on the podcast playlist. And if you enjoyed those ones, then be sure to go check out the Sebworks podcast channel, subscribe, and then we'll see more on that. Then here's a more in-depth breakdown of the ways I'm going to tech, philosophy, and general, basically. So in tech, I'm looking to go into AI, programming, binary, and some cybersecurity. In philosophy, I'll be going into some interesting ideas that I've seen and just reviewing them and just what I've learned from them, and as well what perspectives have helped me gain. I'll also be going into some ideas from my newsletter and the type of articles I've written. A few of them would be the first edition introductions, which were, it's an introduction, but I mean, it's the most loved. So I'm sure there's something you guys love about that one. So there's first edition introductions, which I guess I won't really be doing a review on that one, but it is the most loved article on there. So that might be worth checking out. There is well some podcast episodes there, but it's just the audio version of the podcast that is there. There is the fight for mental control of social media kryptonite, a stable mind. We're going to social media and how that works, and how we could resist its effect. And I will be taking, I won't be going through the whole article because that's free for you guys to read. But what I'll be doing is one idea from there and just seeing how I could branch off it more, and just breaking that down more, and just seeing what other perspectives I could get from it and what other branches of thought that I could go into it, and maybe perhaps link two articles together and seeing how these two are connected instead of explaining it like I did in the article. I just connect the two dots and just give a connection in between them. If, however, you'd like to read the articles, the link for that will also be in the description. Another thing on the philosophy side would be my own reflections and lessons that I've learned from analyzing human behavior, analyzing the way the world works, seeing how, and just seeing what seemed like inconsistencies at first glance, but then seeing the dots that connect them in between, seeing how things are connected, things like that. And then lastly is the general things. Well, general is basically what things I'm interested about, just seeing how it's like to create videos like that. Maybe going into some astronomy, which I've always been fascinated in. It's just nice to just look under the stars. And one wonderful thing that I've seen is that the more you look at the star, at the sky, the more stars you see, which basically would be because there's there's more time for more distant stars to reach your eye. But that is something I'll maybe go into as a general thing in these 3 months of experimenting, where I don't have bounds. Geography as well would be something I may touch on. Things like currents, moving from La Nina to La Nina cycle, or the opposite around, I always forget them. Basically, the changing of the cycle which happens this year, or when it happened end of 2023. Basically, what that is that water, no. So water on planet, right? From what you say, the American coast to the African coast. So the American, that would be eastern coast, American eastern coast to the African western coast. So water in that, I should have said the Atlantic. So basically, water in the Atlantic Ocean, right? It was so for a period of 5 years, the water was stored. The heat of the earth was stored in in the water. But then now the cycle has changed, and now the heat that was stored in the water, is now getting released out. So while you may have experienced an increased warmth in the temperature, that was when the water was still keeping some of the energy and storing some of the energy, whereas now the cycle has changed and now it's releasing most of it and not storing as much. So those are perhaps some general topics I could go into, some general interests that I from time to time delve into and go into. And by the end of March, I'll probably have my verdict, see what I'm doing, how I will be proceeding from then. Maybe I'll go with all three. Maybe some will be just on this one space, like the philosophy on the newsletter. Or maybe I'll just keep it here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.